Well, ain't it nice to see ya? We've got another lightning round today, so I'm gonna dive right into it. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Magical Serialism, your daily sonic sampling of the strange wind that blows upon our luck. Insights, reflections, and a song even I have not yet heard. It is Saturday, February 22nd in the year 2025, and I'm going to shuffle these cards here. Five times. And then we're going to draw some chord cards. And I'm going to make a song out of whatever comes out and then act like it means something. Because it does. There's 5 shuffles. We're going to do a shallow cut today. And then we're going to line these up. Just the piano today, and we're gonna do a quick draw here. We've got the mayor first. The mayor on the train, C7. The fairy moon tries to land, but the train has already taken the 7th chord spot, so that gets thrown away. The white horse doesn't change it, but protects it from a dark horse. And then the conductor. This is an awkward move. Actually, this is kind of a pretty old jazz move. The conductor is going to stay G major. And then we get the unidonkey, the other end of a G7 chord, but without the G now. So we've got G major to B diminished, which is just going to make it feel like this is all one big G7 chord. Except that now instead of B diminished, we have B major 7, which is very different. This bad boy. And B sharp major 7, which is just C major 7. That'll be interesting. And then we're going to A minor. We're going to A minor 7. No, not A minor 7 flat 5, A diminished 7, which is super weird. That's going to be this, isn't it? Isn't it? Yep. And we get a minor triad in there. I've never had these two cards crash into each other before. So a diminished 7th chord is made out of a diminished triad inside, and then a diminished 7th, which is the same as a 6th. But with this dark horse, we're changing that diminished triad inside to a minor triad. So we're going from that to that, but we're going to keep that diminished 7th, which is just going to sound like a 6th now. And we get A minor 6 out of this, which is kind of cool. I love it when that happens. A sharp minor 6. Oh man. Looks like darkness is right. Okay, finally, there's the end of the draw of 5th valid chord card. Causes us to throw it in the trash and finish the draw. So we've got C7, G major, B sharp major 7, which is just C major 7, A minor 6. That's weird. Honestly, that's weird. That's a weird one. Let's see what I'm going to do one more time here. It's wandery. Oops. It's not that weird. Or rather, I'll say it like this. It's not weird enough that everything seems wrong. It's weird enough that everything seems right, but everything doesn't feel connected. So we got this C7, regular old G. We got B sharp major 7, which is really just C major 7. And then we've got A minor 6. And remember, we call that by that sixth, by the 6 we get from the major scale. So this is not an F there. That's an F sharp. Or technically, if we want to be technical, it is a G flat. Yeah, not a G double flat. Yeah, that's good. And this song definitely is better analyzed in the key of G major. This is our 4-7, getting us to our 1, and then our 4 major 7, bringing us to our 2-6. I'm going to say add 6 because I do use figured bass in my analyses sometimes. And that's it. Now I think it's going to be important to come up with a good story for this one. Every card's got something going on, but it doesn't always change what the card is doing. The unidonkey playing the same sounds as the mayor is maybe the first notable thing I notice about this. This unidonkey chord is usually just a gonzo, messy little weirdo that doesn't ever feel right, and it's always a pain to work with. But today it has been taken from this. It's been made sharp, and which would bring it here, but then it's get turned into a major 7th chord, which brings it here, which looks just like the mayor on the fairy moon. And so there's a message in here about a gonzo, inappropriate character wearing a costume of the mayor, of the leader, and kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing, or a unidonkey in mayor's clothing specifically. Let's hear it again. Thanks for being here, you guys. The real mayor is doing the work, being on the train here. And then the conductor comes along and says, hey, oh, you're doing the wrong work, but we're still good. We're still good. Why do I say that? Because a C7 wants to push us toward F major. Hear that? That's where functional harmony would expect us to send it. And maybe the mayor was trying to do that, but the conductor comes along and says, nah, you're just playing some old school jazz. You can hear it in there. But then we get sent back to this unidonkey in mayor's clothing. And then there's this ninja queen on the rise. So the mayor in sheep's clothing, the unidonkey in mayor's clothing is on the rise. So whoever this is, they're getting bigger, getting stronger. And the ninja queen on the dark horse and the crash is also on the rise. Doesn't sound too insidious, but it does sound a little insidious. Minor 6 chords always do. And it brings us, if we're thinking of this in C, it brings us this Lydian F sharp for C. But that F sharp just belongs in the key of G. So we're in the key of G with this thing. This is such a satisfying cadence here. Getting from there to there. And then we go back to the C major 7, which belongs in G and C. And we end on what is the 2 chord, which could bring us back to G. G major 7 there. See that? That's... And so there's also this message of saying the power is being pushed toward the working class. And now that we've got kind of a story of this doddering wrong mayor and the conductor really pushing the show, it does feel all right what this one's doing. But man, that ninja queen on the rise. A lot like yesterday, this kind of keeps carrying itself along. This is a good one, musically, and it doesn't sound too dark. So even though we may be at the point in American history where old school leaders like Steve Bannon on the CPAC stage, the biggest Republican convention besides the Republican convention, is openly doing a Nazi salute. We may be at that point in history. Indeed we are, because that's what happened. But on this day, in this moment, in the now of nows, it ain't so bad. like adding that 9. That's delicious. It wasn't in the cart, but I'm going to do what I want sometimes. Is this a good chance to say wolf in sheep's clothing? Unidonkey in mare's clothing? Or is there something we can do with the happy flappiness of this that won't, make it just another dark discussion? And I honestly, I think Unidonkey in mare's clothing, even though it is serious in a way, it's also ridiculous. What the hell am I talking about here? And that is how to take joy in the moment, in this moment, to say, okay, well, at least it is extremely silly sometimes what's going on. Elon Musk waving a chainsaw around. Everyone's putting on a good show. And boy, howdy, is it the cherry on top of the authoritarian regime. It feels so normal. And as you go through your day, running whatever workload you are, remember that this mayor is kind of spinning their wheels. That C7 chord has a function, a time-honored function, and it's not doing it. It's not functioning the way the mayor expects. And so if there are things you are doing that normally are the right thing to do, double check. It might already be okay. And even the bad things are like not so bad right now. And I guess that depends on who you are. If you've gotten a gender change on your passport, you probably are hearing me and saying, I don't know if things aren't as bad as they seem right now. And that's true. And this is that specter. We're on this chord right now. This A minor 6, made out of a crash and a dark horse, but rising in power. Yeah. Maybe something darker is a-coming down the pike. But it ain't here, right this moment. The death squads may be training, but they are not deployed today. We gotta take joy in that. And you know what? I've been watching the time, and I gotta go. Love you, love you, love you. Thanks for being here. Go out and be exactly who you are. You have no choice. Thanks again.